Hello, Chocolo Roberto here, but not for a video review. It's for the top 20 chocolates of 2021. Yes, yeah. So I wasn't going to be able to say that, but yeah. So basically, yeah, essentially it is what it is. It's top 20 chocolates of 2021, but there is a bit of some caveats in there. Basically, they're all things I've reviewed to start with. So all these things are things I've reviewed, and they are things I reviewed last year, basically 2021. So nothing that if I didn't review it, even if it came out in 2021, or even if I reviewed it and it didn't come out in 2021, they are counted basically, or taken into consideration at least. I'm not including any of the chocolate selections I've reviewed live generally, or just reviewed otherwise really. Chocolate selections, I think they're in a sort of own category, so I'm kind of keeping it to relatively individual chocolates. I mean, there could be some nuances in that really, but generally that's what it will be. And also not including member reviews either, because they're generally different as well. Different again, they're kind of ice creams or crisps or something a bit different really, so they're not really applicable. So I've kind of kept them separate. Maybe one day I'll do sort of like a top a top 20 or whatever member reviews or something like that, or something along these lines. Maybe one day I'll work something out including those, or maybe one day I will include them. I'm not sure. I mean, even though and there's some special things I did review as well, such as I reviewed Ben & Jerry's Baked Alaska. I've not included that as well, just because again that was like a special. Who was it? Was it the 1,500 subscriber special or something like that? I'm not sure, but it was a special one anyway. I think that was what it was for. So I've not included it, and I did kind of include the M&S cake in the jars for was it Colin the Caterpillar? I did kind of include them, but because I don't know, they ranked relatively high. They were sort of basically in the top 30, I think, generally, but I don't know. I didn't really didn't feel like they were compatible with the rest of the list, and B, they didn't really. Maybe as a result of that, and maybe just because I didn't really fancy them because they're just a bit sickly or whatever, just a bit of a posh cake essentially. I didn't, they didn't really feature that high anyway. But I have sort of disregarded them either way because I just didn't really feel they were kind of applicable. But I don't think they really made it into the top sort of 20 anyway, basically. So it's quite a strong list as well. I was thinking it could be quite bit of a, I don't know, well, I didn't really remember it being a particularly strong year, but looking back all the chocolates and ranking them, ordering them, I guess, yes, ordering them for the top 20. There was actually quite a lot of good ones in there actually. Now I did take into account things I reviewed live as well, so I did go into the live reviews, and I did take them into account as well. So some of them, basically, some of them I just knew I wasn't too keen on. I didn't really count. But long story short is that there's about 200 reviews basically that I compared. And what I did was I basically put them into a comparator engine or a compare engine or whatever. So it just presents you with two chocolates. You put in your list of all the chocolates and it presents you with two, and you pick the one you'd rather have basically. And that's kind of what I did as well. I didn't really go by ratings on these. It might be typically the ones I've rated highest you would have thought would whittle the way to the top, but it's not necessarily ones that have all got 5 stars that will necessarily be at the top, if you know what I mean. It's basically what I would, if I had the chocolates in front of me right now, which one would I go for, over the others basically. And eventually, the comparator engine compares them all to each other. I mean, eventually, there's one at the top. It took a long time. It took about 2, 3, 4 hours to compare them all. It takes a long time. There's about 700 comparisons or something. But what I did was I compared all the, basically, there's about, basically the 200 chocolates, compared them all. And then I got to the top 60, then took them out and then compared them again. And then I took the top 30 and then compared them again, just to make sure that I definitely got the actual proper answers, you know what I mean? So it was very, pretty comprehensive really. So as I say, these are not necessarily things that came out last year, and the basic things I reviewed last year, so bear that in mind. And they're not necessarily things that's got the highest marks. It's what I would right now, or well, basically when I did the comparisons, prefer to eat if presented with all these chocolates, and that's the gist of it. So so the top rated ones are most likely going to be up there, but it doesn't necessarily mean just because you've got 5 stars that you're going to beat one that's got 4 stars, for instance. But it's probably likely that it will, but it doesn't necessarily mean it will. Oh yes, that's one thing I forgot to say. Yes, this will be the 20 to 11 basically. I'm going to, this video will be 20 to 11, and then the next video will be 10 to 1. So yes, so there we go. So exciting one really. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so what have we got then? At number 20, M&M's Cookie Chocolate Bar. Yes, so very nice one, this one. I mean, they're all going to be nice, these top 20 of the year, There's a lot of chocolates out there. As I say, did about 200, well, I did more than 200 reviews, really, but, about 200 were taken into account, really. So yeah, it's a very nice this one. Basically, it's just a block of chocolate essentially with mini M&Ms in and bits of cookie pieces as well. So very nice. I do, people who watch the channel for a period of time will know that I really love sort of biscuity, crunchy pieces in chocolate, and this was obviously well up my street. Thing I don't like about it really, and again, it's still a good chocolate bar in the top 20. Number 20 is the lowest on this list, but as I say, I've reviewed over 200 chocolates and took into account about 200 for this list. So. There we go. So it's still pretty high up. Just the fact that it's got mini M&Ms rather than the actual M&Ms in there that are cookie M&Ms basically. It's one thing I'm not a massive fan of really, but it swings and roundabouts because it kind of takes with one hand and gives with the other, because it does give cookie pieces in there, as well as mini M&Ms. So you kind of get a bit of both worlds really. The chocolate's not the best ever, but it just all works as a whole. It's greater than some of its parts, this bar, and there's quite a few M&Ms bars as well, of all the different varieties, and they are pretty good actually. I do quite like them a lot. So yeah, that's at number 20. Yeah, and then number 19, Cadbury Mini Eggs. Yeah, so obviously Cadbury Mini Eggs have been around for a long time, as you know, but I reviewed them again last year. I think I reviewed them before, but I reviewed them again. And yeah, they're just a classic, aren't they, Cadbury Mini Eggs? I love the, I don't know, I think in the past, I think they might have had dairy milk chocolate in them at one point. I'm not too sure, but I still love them. I love the sort of, the smell of them and the feel of them. They've got there's just shells a bit powdery. It's like these little mini sort of pastel coloured eggs basically with chocolate on the inside, but quite a crispy shell. I'm sure you all know what they are. Very interesting, very nice. I really think there's just something about them that's very distinct, and even though there's lots of other mini eggs out there, there's just something about the shell that's quite powdery, and something about it that I quite like. It's a sugar shell. It cracks when you bite it, but there's a bit of a powder on it, and I don't know, something about it, I just like it. And I think mini eggs are always nice, and yeah, they're definitely, well, it's only 19, I guess, they'll always remain high in the lists of chocolate. I think mini eggs, you know what I mean? They're just a staple, something that comes out every year, every Easter. Really nice. Yeah, lovely set of chocolates, these ones. So I do really enjoy them. So yeah, that's number 19. Definitely not much. There's not much to say that hasn't already been said about mini eggs. They're a classic and very nice, really nice. So something you have to have every year. Right, yes, what do we have there? Number 18, yes, Cadbury Twirl Bites, mint flavour, yes, or Cadbury mint flavour Twirl Bites, I want to say it. These are an Australian import, these ones, basically sort of mini pieces of twirl, essentially, a twirl is sort of like, almost like a flake covered or enrobed with chocolate. I don't know if it's not quite Cadbury's dairy milk, but it's Cadbury chocolate. This is an Australian one, so it's different again, really. But basically, sort of twirl, it's like a flaky chocolate, as I say, based on the Cadbury flake pretty much, but covered enrobed in chocolate. But flavoured mint, really nice, just lovely, lovely. As I say, I think there's I had the full chocolate bar of this as well, but obviously the mini ones, just very nice to eat. Lovely mint flavour, so quite refreshing. Nice chocolate as well, and this is one where sometimes mint chocolate I'm not a massive fan of. It can depend really, but this is one instance where it really works and it's really up my street. So yeah, very nice one. This one, don't know if it's readily available in the UK. Don't know if it's a limited edition or not in Australia either, but it was a very nice one. So check that one out. Yeah, Cadbury Twirl Bites, mint flavour Twirl Bites. Number 18. Yes, and number 17, Twix Triple Chocolate. It's a difficult one to say, that one. Very interesting on this one. Basically a US import, I believe. Yeah, very nice this one. Sort of like, not really a Twix, really, even though it looks like a Twix from appearance. It's a two-fingered bar, and it's got the sort of typical shape, so like a sort of biscuity bottom, and then a caramel, then covered in chocolate. But it was just a lot different than a regular one. It's just something it had a bit of an X factor, this one. It was just something about it. It was just very nice. The sort of the biscuit part was more like a cake part, like it had a cakey taste to it, very chocolatey, very nice, and the caramel was very thick and just a bit bigger than normal. Just a lovely caramel as well, just something different. As I say, just all sort of like a chocolate caramel. It wasn't like oozing with quality, this one, but it just tasted really nice. I just really enjoyed it. It was a nice experience and something different. And while it, as I say, was a Twix, I kind of made a note to say that this feels very different than a Twix. It really does. It was almost like it could have been a different bar, really, even though it looked like a Twix. It was a very odd one, but really enjoyed it. Yeah, the Twix Triple Chocolate. If you can find that one, very nice. Yeah, very nice indeed. Really recommended that one. Yeah, very nice indeed. Okay, then at number 16, we had Terry's Chocolate Orange Dark Milk. Yeah, this one, yeah, very, I don't know, could argue this one's a bit of a standard one, really. There's nothing in it. It's just, orange flavoured dark milk chocolate. But I really enjoyed that that uniqueness of it. I mean, dark milk's been a bit hit and miss really. I mean, some bars have done them relatively well, some that have done them not so well really. You know, Galaxy for instance, their dark milk was just, I thought it was just atrocious. I know where some people, well, you know, one or two people quite liked it. I remember Emily Misty in the comments saying she quite liked it, but for me, I don't know, I thought it was quite terrible really. So apologies, Emily, if you're watching. But I really you know, really didn't like that. But this one was very nice. I liked it, and obviously had that sort of Terry's chocolate orange flavour in it as well. Just gave it a bit of an oomph, and it was a bar, wasn't the actual it wasn't an actual sphere or, you know, orange. It was the bar version where it's like flat, you know, basically lots of segments. Just very nice, this one. I really enjoyed it. It's very sort of, I don't know, refined taste. I just liked it. Dark milk has been a bit hit and miss, as I say, but some bars have done it pretty well. Yeah, this was just really nice. Really enjoyed it. Just a lovely sort of set of flavours and a really nice way to have dark milk. And as I say, dark milk being something that hasn't often worked, this was a really nice experience actually to have it where it just tasted nice and it's something a bit special. I enjoyed this one. Now what do we have? Number 15, Vicks Hobnobs, the fully coated one. Now I didn't think this would rate that highly really, but it's basically the fact that I love Hobnobs. I think chocolate hobnobs are the best biscuits out there pretty much. I mean, you know, there are some others that come close, and maybe on certain days you might think, oh, I quite fancy this over that. But generally, Vicks Hobnobs, I love them. Just like a chocolate covered sort of OT biscuit, and it's just the consistency works really well, and the amount of chocolate works really nice. Just better than a digestive, basically, milk chocolate digestive. Just nicer. Really like these ones. And I've always said for a long time, possibly before Oreo did it, but especially after Oreo did it, just enrobing the biscuit, you know, covering it in chocolate. Any biscuit, you know, just any biscuit almost certainly will taste better just covered in chocolate. And we're saying this for a long time, especially after Oreo did it, as I say. And then they did it with, McVitie's did it with their digestives and their hobnobs. So just a really nice, I guess they've been doing it for a while anyway in their sort of chocolate selections where they've had a covered digestive. But it just took them this long to actually release it. A bit stingy with them. You only get about 6 in a pack or something, and they charge you the price of a full pack of biscuits basically, where you would otherwise get 14 or something, or however many you get. But yeah, really nice, really enjoyed. Just really thickly covered biscuit. I mean, it's not I don't know, when I had them I was a bit disappointed, I think. You know, but nonetheless, you know, if they're in front of me right now, I just think, oh, you know, I really could do with that. And I remember I did buy like a pack of them, just, you know, I just thought, you know what, I just need something, and something nice today, and I did get a pack, and they are very nice, you know. So while I was a bit disappointed when I had them, they're still very nice. And I think I was just disappointed by the fact that, I don't know, it just wasn't quite the step up I thought it would be. But nonetheless, as I say, milk chocolate hobnobs are basically my favourite biscuit anyway. So very nice, those ones. Yeah, very nice indeed. Then what else did we have? Yeah, and a surprising one, this one. It's the Chocolo Smooth Caramel at number 14 from Aldi. Yeah, very, basically Chocolo is their own sort of branded chocolate. And like a very thick, big bar, this one, basically. 200-gram bar, you know, sort of filled with caramel. And the caramel basically tastes pretty much like the golden barrel from you know, from Cadbury's Roses, and you've got a whole bar of it basically. So it's really nice, this one actually. I was very impressed with it. You know, not what I would normally buy all the time, and you know, might easily overlook, I guess, but it was just very nice, really enjoyable bar. As I say, that I really like the golden barrels from Cadbury's Roses, and basically this one's just a massive bar of it, you know. So what's not to like about that? Really nice, really enjoyable. Yeah, I think if you like, as I say, Cadbury's golden barrels from Roses, you'll definitely like these. The chocolate's quite a sort of creamy chocolate, milky chocolate, but as I say, with this it works, and it's still a nice chocolate. You know, it's just perhaps bordering on perhaps being a bit too milky for me to be my favourite chocolate, but and nonetheless, very nice, works well with this. So yeah, a good bar. I'm very, you know, yeah, solid in more ways than one. Just a great bar, and other than the centre, of course, which is very, very runny and lovely. So yeah, nice caramel centre. Yeah, definitely recommend that one. Yes, then what do we have? At number 13, yes, Nestle Milky Bar Cookies and Cream. Yeah, so basically, I mean, I think with this bar's been off and on, out, you know, comes out and disappears and comes out again quite a number of times really. So I've had this one in the past, and I think it came back out again last year. Very nice bar. Basically, Nestle Milky Bar, you know, I think probably joint best white chocolate I've tasted, along with sort of the Finnish company Panda's white chocolate. Very nice white chocolate, this one. I think it's just, it probably rates higher on the list as far as ratings go. You know, probably, you know, it's pretty much a 5 out of 5, this one. But I think just the fact that, you know, I don't know, when compared to the others, it just wasn't quite as exciting. Even though it tastes great, it just wasn't quite as exciting. So that's why it's a bit lower down the list, really. But still very nice, still really enjoyed it. Just as I say, it's not quite got the oomph, but having the bits of sort of, it was filled with sort of cookie pieces basically, and it was just really nice, like a chocolate, a bit like the one with the M&M's cookie chocolate bar basically, sort of like cookie crumble, for a bit smaller pieces in this one, but very nice, just as I say, really filled with it. And also the fact that you know, they did do I think a cookies and cream sort of bites bag, I think, but they had like, rather than just be solid sort of Milky bar, you know, sort of white chocolate, it had like a sort of, I don't know, like a sort of cream centre almost, and it just wasn't very nice. Whereas this one's a proper full-on, just chocolate bar, just thick Milky Bar chocolate, and no sort of silly centre other than the cookie pieces basically. So very nice this one, as I say, but only lower down on the list just because it was a bit unexciting compared to the others. Yeah, but as I say, but a top-rated chocolate bar, and definitely one of the best, if not the best, white chocolates out there, especially with that cookie pieces in there. You know, really like that in my chocolate. So this is well up my street. So yeah, that's number 13. Now number 12, yes, getting near the 10 now. Number 12, yeah, orange chocolate Smarties sharing bar. Yes, this is quite a basic one, this one. No QP was saying that she wasn't too keen on these. But basically I quite like these, all these Smarties sharing bars. I just think they're really nice. They have a lovely shape to them. They look beautiful. They've just got very quirky, segmented shapes, and they look great actually. I really like the way they look. And this, the orange one's the best one because it's just got it's got a different taste to it. It just tastes a bit orangey basically. I don't know how that happens, but it seems to. I'm sure it actually has, but nonetheless, maybe it's just my imagination. But it does have a reputation, the orange Smarties, for tasting like orange, and I feel that's definitely the case. There's a regular one and there's the white chocolate one as well, but I just felt this one was the best one really. Really enjoyed it, really nice, lovely. As I say, lovely Smarties, just like sort of candy coated sort of chocolates basically. So all it is really is just chocolate with chocolate inside, but it's just sort of like crunchy shell inside this bar. So it's just filled with all mini Smarties basically. Just a great bar, really nice, really tasty, and that's why it's at number 12. So yeah, very nice bar, that one. Then the last one for today, yes, the Panda salted roasted corn in milk chocolate. Yeah, so this one's a Finnish import, this one. Yeah, I think I'll review this one live, really. Yeah, so, and thanks so much for the person who sent me this. Thank you so much from Finland. Really appreciate it. Really nice, this one. Just a nice. It's just basically milk chocolate, but with basically sort of salty corn pieces in there. And the corn's like popcorn, basically, but not popped fully. But none of them were hard pieces. I was a bit worried it might be a bit hard, and not, you know, because it's sort of like the corn's only half popped or whatever, so it's still quite hard. But no, it was all lovely, and it was just really nice crunch, lovely salty taste. Just really nice, a really lovely flavour combination with that sort of sweet and saltiness and the crunch as well. Really nice, that one, actually. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, lovely bar. I do love, as I say, crunching my chocolate, and this one with that salty taste as well was just really nice, and good chocolate as well. Just lovely bar, really nice experience, and a bit different from most other sort of crunchy pieces. Well, you see some other corn flavoured bars as well, and some of them have not been that great. They've been had a bit hard pieces in there and things, but this one was great. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. That's why it's number 11. Right, well, guys, well, join me next time for the top 10. Yes, the 10 very best chocolates of the year. Yeah, wow. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, these ones were pretty good, but obviously the next lot are even better. So, so join me for that one. As I say, in a separate video. Could have done them all at once, but I thought I'd add, make it a bit more dramatic and separate them out. So, yeah. So, if I'll see you then, hope you have a great day. Thanks for your support. Leave a comment off here. Let me know what you think as well. If you had a top 10 or 20 chocolates of last year, let me know what you think were the best. It could be ones you just tasted or ones that were new out or both. Let me know. Great to hear from you in the comments. Leave a like as always. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day, guys. See you soon. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.